Hello Bloomington, I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of September 4th. I hope you all had a great long weekend. We didn't have a council meeting this week because of the holiday, but there are three things that I want to catch you up on today. You've likely seen news reports recently that a number of law enforcement agencies across the state have made the decision to stop providing school resource officers to their local school districts. The reason many of these agencies have decided to stop providing school resource officers, or SROs, is due to a law change that was enacted during the 2023 legislative session. In short, the law change made it illegal for SROs assigned to a school to use certain types of physical restraints that would otherwise be legal outside of a school setting when necessary and reasonable. The newly enacted law made it clear that it also applies to police officers assigned to a school and not officers who are not working in the schools. Meaning the officer working in the school is prohibited from using certain physical restraints, but an officer not assigned to the school who may respond to the school for a call is not prohibited from using those same physical restraints. Very simply, the new law is concerning at best. And across the state, a number of groups and individuals are calling for immediate action to clarify the confusing nature of the law. I've spoken with Chief Booker Hodges about this, and he and Bloomington Schools Superintendent, Dr. Eric Melby, have been in constant communication. Chief Hodges and Dr. Melby have agreed, and I fully support their decision, that the three Bloomington police officers currently working as school resource officers will continue serving in their roles. Chief Hodges and Dr. Melby and the officers assigned to the schools all agree they're not happy with the new law. But they also agree that the most important issue is the safety of students, parents, and building staff. So what does this mean? In Bloomington, school resource officers will continue working in Bloomington schools. It also means you may see more Bloomington squad cars parked outside school buildings from time to time. Sometimes officers not assigned to a school may respond to a situation that the SRO is not able to respond to due to the recent law passage. Leadership and staff in both the Bloomington Police Department and Bloomington Public Schools are keeping a very close eye on this issue as the school year gets underway. Both the city and the school district will provide updates as needed. Later this week, I'll be attending the 53rd annual conference of the Midwest U.S.-Japan Association. The state of Minnesota has a long-time relationship with the group and with the Japanese business sector. And this year, Governor Tim Walz specifically invited Bloomington to participate. The meeting is in Tokyo, and the Minnesota delegation will also be going to Osaka, and will be making a stop in Izumi, Bloomington's sister city. Some quick background. The Midwest U.S.-Japan Association is comprised of 10 member states in the Midwest, and they've been doing this since 1967. The governments of these states work together to increase understanding of Japan's markets and resources, to showcase the Midwest as America's most dynamic business environment, and to highlight direct foreign investment opportunities in Midwest communities and the export potential of Midwest companies. The association also includes about 100 corporate members that have direct economic ties to Japan, and the annual meeting helps to reinforce the economic, political, and cultural ties that link the national economy of Japan with the regional economy of the Midwest. So now you're wondering, how did Bloomington get invited to this international conference, and why did we accept the invitation? And those are good questions. If you remember back in June, when we came up short in our bid to host the World Expo, I said that the United States development community and the world now knows about Bloomington, Minnesota. Our 2-year effort to land the expo introduced Bloomington to political and business leaders from many countries. Thousands of people who were not aware of us before now know what we have to offer. With the awareness-raising work we've done, and with some substantial projects that are making their way through the pipeline, we're demonstrating Bloomington's commitment to boost manufacturing and diversify our economy. We've built up some good momentum, and being part of the governor's delegation at the Midwest U.S.-Japan Association meeting will help us continue that momentum. Our City Council and the Port Authority have been pursuing projects to make Bloomington into a hub of high-tech manufacturing. In just the past couple of weeks, we finalized an agreement with SICK, a German company, to expand its North American headquarters here in Bloomington. We also passed a resolution in support of an application by Polar Semiconductors for funding through the CHIPS and Science Act. You may have seen the Star Tribune article about Polar Semiconductor's application in late August. The article talks at length about Bloomington's concentrated and thoughtful efforts to bolster our high-tech sector, an industry, frankly, that has been around in Bloomington for more than 50 years. It's a good strategy. Or as Peter Frosch, CEO of the economic development group Greater MSP, was quoted as saying, "It's smart to build on your base." That's what Bloomington is doing. Both SICK and Polar are internationally owned companies. It speaks volumes to other global corporations who are looking to locate a business or expand operations in the United States when they see a German and a Japanese-owned company firmly established, strongly supported, and thriving here in Bloomington. The work we've done to raise Bloomington's profile on the international business stage and the work we're doing to support our existing high-tech businesses puts Bloomington in a strong position as our economy becomes even more diverse and globalized. Now it's time to answer your questions about Bloomington Forward, the long-term investment plan that, if approved by voters, would support 3 major community projects for better health, wellness, athletics, recreation, and improved natural areas. On November 7th, Bloomington voters will consider a 0.5% local option sales tax to finance $155 million in bonds to pay for the projects as part of a citywide referendum. The questions on this fall's ballot will ask voters about the following projects. Ballot question number 1 asks voters about building a new community health and wellness center to replace the outdated Creekside Community Center and Bloomington Public Health Building. Ballot question number 2 asks voters whether they would approve renovating the 50-year-old Bloomington Ice Garden, including new refrigeration and mechanical systems, improved ADA accessibility, a new roof, and additional improvements to improve guest experience. And ballot question number 3 asks voters about enhancing and protecting the 9 Mile Creek Corridor and Moyer and Central Park with restored riverbanks, habitat protections, improved trails, and new park amenities to support outdoor recreation. If approved, 67%, that's 2/3 of the local sales tax revenue, will come from non-residents, according to research by the University of Minnesota. By using a sales tax instead of a property tax to solely finance the projects, non-residents would share in the cost of paying for them when they patronize local businesses. This week's frequently asked questions are centered around a proposed community health and wellness center. The first question is, what would be in a community health and wellness center if this project is approved? The Community Health and Wellness Center would support a wide range of recreational, fitness, and health activities. Since it would be significantly larger than the current Creekside and public health buildings combined, more recreational amenities could be added. Possible amenities include gymnasiums, a walking track, a pool, indoor playground, multi-purpose rooms, and exercise spaces. If this project is approved by voters, there will be a significant amount of public engagement to inform the design and use of the facility. Our next question is, would there be membership dues or user fees at the Community Health and Wellness Center? Well, that would depend on the type of activity. Most city-run community centers have a mix of monthly and annual membership fees, as well as daily and weekly passes for use of their fitness centers, pools, and gymnasiums. To ensure accessibility, fees may include a sliding fee scale and variable pricing for programs depending on a customer's ability to pay. Generally, all of the fees in community centers go toward the cost of operations. And finally, if the Community Health and Wellness Center project is approved, when can the public provide input about the facility's design? If the project is approved, an architect would be hired in early 2024 and community engagement would begin shortly thereafter. I'll be answering a couple of questions each week leading up to Election Day, so be sure to tune in next time for more answers to your frequently asked questions. In the meantime, there is much more information on the website bloomingtonforward.org. That's a wrap on this week's Council Minute. Thanks much for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.